Hello YouTube, this is a response video to Dark Skywatcher 74 who's uploaded this video on YouTube. Did I find hard proof of Nibiru? And in this video he's looking at Neumayer station and looking at the light that's being cast on the station building itself. Unfortunately the audio in his video is very low and very hard to pick up. So I'll just have to go on part of the video from his YouTube clip here. In his video we've looked at where the sun is rising. We'll look at this in a minute. At Neumayer station on this date being 23rd or 24th of October. This one's got 24th on it, but that's actually later in the segment. So the sun was rising around about here. Now in this view we're actually looking around about southeast, which I will show you on Starry Night. Now the thing that Dark Skywatcher is saying is that there is some second light source, like a second sun, that is lighting up this side of the building, and he's saying that shouldn't be happening, and it can't be the sun because the sun should be over this way. The sun rises here and sort of heads up this way, which it does, but I think unfortunately Dark Skywatcher 74 is tending to think two-dimensionally rather than three-dimensionally, and we're going to take a look at that. But let's just have a quick look at a clip from his video, and again I apologize for the audio. So I'm going to have to give you a commentary here. He's going through the images, and you'll see that his cursor moved. That's his cursor pointing out to that side of the building which seems to be illuminated, and he's saying in his video that it shouldn't be illuminated because the sun is in the wrong position to be illuminating it. I'll put a link to his video in the description area and you can check it out for yourself. Now he's pointing to the shaded area and saying that should, you know, if it's going to be lit up at all, it should be that side that's lit up. Okay, so we'll have a look and see if we can work out what's going on in this video. Once again I've set up in Starry Night the same field of view as Neumayer station, and we can see that the time is set to 0400 hours UTC on October 24, 2012, Neumayer station, Antarctica, and I've set the time steps for 10 minutes. We can see that the sun has risen here. I'll just turn on the halo effect so it looks the same. So we've got the sun there, and we see a black spot in the images from Neumayer station, which is actually the sun itself, and it's overloading the sensor in the camera, producing a black spot. No, it's not Nibiru, it's just overloaded sensor in the camera. So here is the position of the sun as it rises at 0400 hours, and we can see from the sun data that's appeared on the screen there that we are looking at azimuth is, where are we? 126 degrees. So we're looking at 126 degrees as our direction on the horizon. I'm going to bring up the image for the same time from the Neumayer camera, and you can see that if I toggle between the images, then the sun is at the right place for that image. So that's at 0400 on the 24th of October 2012. That's set the same as what I've got here. Now I'll just step through the images from Neumayer and we'll see the sun moving along as it rises. These are 10-minute steps. Okay, and I'll stop it there because what I'll do is I'll step forward in Starry Night as well, so that we can see that the sun is still in much the same position as it should be when we're comparing them. So that's at 5:40 UTC. So now I'm going to go to Starry Night, and I'm going to step forward to 5:40 UTC. Okay, so that's 5:40 UTC. I'll go back to our Neumayer image to compare it, and again if I toggle between them we can see that the sun is around about the same place, matching these up as best I can. Okay, so to carry on with the video by Dark Skywatcher 74, He's saying that the sun has moved along this way and we shouldn't be seeing a light source lighting up this part of the building. As I said before, he's probably thinking two-dimensionally and not really grasping it three-dimensionally, so we're going to have a look at that now. I'm going to go back into Starry Night, and what I'm going to do is zoom right out so we've got basically a fisheye camera view. Okay, now I'm going to drag this down so that we can see the whole sky with Neumayer station view at the bottom. And then what I'm going to do is step forward to 1740 UTC, which is the time that he's saying the sun was shining on the building. I'll just see if I've got it in his video there. Yep, 1740, and that's actually on the 23rd because of the way that the images from Neumayer station loop around, but it's good enough. In fact, I can step back in Starry Night to the 23rd, so we're looking at the same date. I'll do that. So it's 1740, and we're going to look at the 23rd. So back to Starry Night. It's I've got to go to 1740 and make that the 23rd. So now we're looking at the same date. I'll just check, make sure I've got that right. 540. Oh, that's okay. That's the image. I've got to go to his video. 1740 on the 23rd. 1740 on the 23rd. So we're looking at the same setting here. Now we can see where the sun is in relation to Neumayer station in the sky. We've got the central point. So when we're looking at the images from Neumayer station, we can basically say we're looking from the central point, okay, because any direction that we look is going to either be north, south, east, west, or whichever direction we're pointing. When we're looking this way, the gaze of this camera is fixed at around about 126 degrees, which was the same as where we saw the sun setting just before. Okay, so back to Starry Night. So once again, if we're looking at Neumayer station from our central point of view, we're looking at around about 126 degrees to the center of the field of view, which is about there. So we've got the sun behind us at this time of the day. This is where it gets tricky trying to think three-dimensionally. We've got the sun behind us. What I've done is I've prepared an image in Paint, which shows our field of view, which I'm going to rotate in a minute. So this is looking from our central point looking towards Neumayer station, and we had the sun coming up on the horizon at about 126 degrees. We've got the building here, and I've sort of drawn it like three-dimensionally so that we can see the two faces. Okay, now we've got north down here, of course, because I've had to rotate this so that we can have the Neumayer station field of view at the top here. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to rotate this. I'm just going to cancel the rotate on here, take it back. So now if we're looking north, here is the Neumayer station field of view. This is where the sun was rising in our earlier shot at 126 degrees, and by 1740 the sun is over here at 272 degrees. Well, you can see from this diagram that the sun would actually be shining on this face of the building. I'll just go back into Starry Night and we'll check that. Here is the sun, and I'm going to pull that down. I'm going to pull it down and around so we're looking at the sun's position on the horizon. I'm going to zoom in so we can see clearly. Okay, so you can see here, you might be able to make out W for west there, and if I hover on the sun there, you'll see the information has popped up, and it says that the sun is at 274 degrees azimuth. Okay, I said 272 before. We can see it's at 274 at 1740 UTC on the 23rd. Oh, the difference before was I was checking on the 24th of October. If I bring this back 24th, then where are we now? Still 274, okay. So close enough, 274 degrees. If we go back to our chart, west is at 270 degrees. and position of our sun 274 degrees, so yes, it will be shining on the Neumayer station. The mistake that that Dark Sky Watcher 74 was making was that he was thinking that the sun sort of heads up this way and disappears, but of course it's actually making an arc round the sky. As we all know, the sun rises approximately in the east and sets approximately in the west. Of course, that depends on the time of the year, it does change. Okay, and this is a mistake that some people make, is that they think that the sun always rises in exactly the same place and sets in exactly the same place, but they don't realize that that actually changes throughout the seasons. And so the first time that they notice that the sun isn't rising where they thought it should be, they think that the poles have shifted, and that hasn't happened at all. Now, another point that Dark Sky Watcher makes is that this object, or Nibiru, or the second sun, is only visible from the Antarctic. And in fact, somebody actually made a comment on his video, and he says, so if we were to believe this video, then Nibiru is so close that it's casting light on the Earth and yet is completely invisible when we look up. Going by this claim, Nibiru should be as big and as bright as the sun. No, this is not proof of Nibiru, but rather misunderstanding on behalf of the poster. Okay, I think that's fair comment. Now, Dark Sky Watcher's answer was, if you took your time to research it, Nibiru is only visible from Antarctica, so until you go there and take pictures and or prove me wrong, I'll stick to my theory. And he thanks him for his comment. Now, the problem with this idea that Nibiru is only visible from Antarctica can be quickly disproved by the fact that anyone in the northern hemisphere who is familiar with the sky will be familiar with the northern pole star, which is called Polaris. Now, Polaris is directly above the northern pole, or the North Pole as seen from the Earth, and you don't have to be at the Arctic Circle, at the in the northern hemisphere. You don't have to be in the Arctic Circle to be able to see Polaris. You can see Polaris from anywhere in the northern hemisphere. And in the same way, I'm in the southern hemisphere. I live in New Zealand. I'm not too far away from Antarctica, and I can see everything that would be visible in space above Antarctica. There is not anything that is visible above Antarctica in space that I would not be able to see from New Zealand. Just like anybody in the northern hemisphere can see Polaris, I can see everything above the South Pole, or the Antarctica. So I've actually dealt with that in a couple of my other videos. You might like to check on my channel to see those. It's all explained. So yeah, again, all of this is just to do with the position of the sun as it rotates around through the sky, or rather as the Earth rotates, of course, because the sun does not go around the Earth rotates. So there we have it. There's Neumayer station at the bottom, and there's the sun up there. And if we go to my chart here, this explains it all. I'll rotate that round again. Rotate. So I'll just drag that over there. And if we rotate the image round, we can see what's going on here. So we've got north at the top, Neumayer station down here. The sun was rising at 126 degrees. It was at, what was it, 1740? It was at 274 degrees. So I hope that's cleared that up. Thank you for watching, and as usual, do check out my discussion page on Facebook, which is Voices of Reason to Explain X, or VORTEX, and I'll put a link in the description area for you. Thank you.